Hey, hello. Hi, Hobie Gal. Great to see you. Thanks for dropping in. It is Monday, September 29th. Wow. It's the last stream of September for me. Can you believe it? Because next time I stream, it will be in October. And I'm getting pretty excited about the whole taking a couple weeks off from streaming, regular streaming. But I'll be back to it. It's just a vacation, and during vacation, I'll be away from my PC, away from home, and doing other things, and won't be doing my real. I'm sure gonna miss the Microsoft Flight Simulator stuff. That's for sure. I won't have to miss the Diet Coke because Diet Coke is available wherever you go, so I'll be able to purchase and consume Diet Coke on my trip. Oh yeah. Oh, that's very good. Just poured it out of the can here. Two of my favorite things so far. Diet Coke, and the beautiful blue Bluetooth controller, which we use to fly around, and Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's what it's going to be today. There'll be some flying around. It's going to take a little relaxing. It's not going to be a super long stream, maybe an hour and 45 minutes or so. They'll be flying around. I think we're going to do some hunting of... I'm looking for that. We're going to run through the Japan update video and see if I can find something. I think there was a statue I wanted to find, which you haven't found yet. We've done the bridges and the dams. There's still some bridges, too. After the flying around, I'll be playing the big brain games. Do that on a daily basis, so I'm just going to do that live. It's the Quirtle, the revealed game, the tightrope trivia quiz. Fortunately, back to Monday, hopefully the easiest one, so we can finally, get a good score. But we'll see. Trivia, 2 Arc Turtles. That'll finish up the brain games. There'll be a short break, and of course, as you can see from the title today, which I've updated, it looks like it's a Ken's Piano Lounge day, which is always good. So I'll be warming up my fingers and dragging my piano in, slapping it down right here in front of me, transforming magically into Ken's Piano Lounge so we can enjoy some mellow live piano vibes. People want to come in and say hi, that's fine. Other than that, I'm just going to pretty much just sort of babble my way through it as usual, as I like to do. Basically, I'm just putting together things I like to do on a daily basis. So I've launched Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I don't see anything new. Let's just check the marketplace real quickly. Usually they haven't been adding a lot real fast. Free trial, forget about that. Free trial, though, that's an interesting idea, though. They have these rental ideas, and now there's the idea of maybe a free trial. This is the one that's $13 in 2020, right? This is the new. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not interested in that kind of plane. I got so many planes to fly around in. The S-76, that's a huge, humongous helicopter. Yeah, nothing really here. All right, so if we go back here, hold on a second here. Actually, I wanted to bring up the video. Let me cue this up here. The YouTube. Those still just take a second. It's on the YouTube. It's on my history. So let me just bring that up here. No, that's not it. I guess I have to find it. There we go. Going there. All right. So what we're watching for is just a short 2-minute video. Is an interesting. We did Sapporo. We did the bridges. We did Hiroshima. Although we didn't necessarily check out this Peace Park in the detail I would like to, if I remember correctly. I don't know if we've been to this Otsuka Museum of Art. That looked pretty cool. Osaka Castle. Now that's pretty standard. I have no idea. This is Osaka. Osaka. Okay, so these are just cities. Osaka, Kyoto. Now this looks starting to get interesting. Mount Fuji, of course, that's hard to miss. What I want to see in a second, though, we're going to get into this. There's Yokohama, Fujima Park. We'll see in a second. I'm not concerned about Tokyo. They don't show it very often, very much. Greater Tokyo area. We haven't done Tokyo yet. So, okay, Chiba, which is near Tokyo. There we go. There we go. See, it just shows up real quickly. It's this Ushiku Daibutsu, which I think means a statue of something. I don't know for sure. I don't write it down because I'm going to see if we can find this. This will be a success if we can find this gigantic statue of Buddha. I presume. Some kind of Buddha. All right. It's a big-ass statue. We're going to look for it. Now, how we find it, I don't know. But the other cities I want to write down, obviously Tokyo. But what were the other? I want to write down some of these other cities. Kyoto, Kuki. I don't think we saw that dam. We saw some other dams. We have not been here. Gunma I wonder if I can find these. Astronomical Observatory. Let's leave the mountains for a little ways. Oh, that looks nice. Don't know if we saw much Motion Castle. We're gonna be a lot of this. So we're gonna be searching around this for a long time. All right, here we go. I see that was the other one. Hold on. It shows them real quick. Sendai, yeah, Daikon. I think means no. I don't know, but in Sendai. All right, so that's another statue. Not really a Buddha, a different kind of statue that we kind of want to check out. All right, let's see if we can find some of these items here. So we're going to go back to here. Free flight. If I do search location, I just want to see if any of these even come up. They usually don't. Okay, Oshiku Dabatsu did come up. Nice. All right, so that's the first one. So we can find that one for sure. That's that big statue. And I want to see if... Well, right now I'm just going to temporarily set that as departure. I want to see if Sendai... it doesn't show the... No, it does if you type it out. Okay. And where's that one? Okay, so this one's here. And that one's way up there. I mean, it's not like they're close. But, okay, so that one's up there. And the previous one is now gone. No, the previous one is here. Okay. So we might just do them as separate flights. I'm also going to choose a different plane just because I don't like to do the same one too often in a row. I've got so many different planes to fly around in. And some of them are pretty wacky, fun things, fun items. I think, at least. I should have loaded my Mitsubishi for Japan. I should load up my Mitsubishi Zero again. So that's definitely... I don't have it plugged in, I don't believe. All right, we haven't been in the gyro for a while. Like a couple weeks, maybe. And that's a problem. Configure that. The color is important. Hello. What do we got? I guess it's dark red. I like the pearl beige or safari. They're both pretty cool. Pearl beige is actually a pretty fancy, nice looking color in the real world. All right. So where were we again? We're here. All right. So there's this statue right there. But we need to find a runway. So there's a little airport here. There's a little airport here. And they're pretty close, right? Let's see. That has grass. This is asphalt. Let's go here, and we'll go southwest, and we're going to check out this statue. We are going to make it. It's 3:42 in the morning there. That's not too... Actually, we'll make it later in the morning. We'll make it like 7:30 a.m., like about 7:35 a.m. Bright and early in the morning. All right, we're taking off from this airport here. We're going to cold start it because that's fun, and I enjoy it. It's pretty easy in the gyro, Magni gyro. And we're going to check out this statue here, the Ushiku Daibatsu, and whatever else we see in this area that looks nice. Never flown around this area before. I assume they've probably updated the area, but we're going to check out this and also another statue. We're going to do the two statues that they pointed out. Cheers, everyone. I hope you're enjoying a lovely Diet Coke today, as I am, with ice and condensation on a glass. Okay, not from a can. It just tastes better that way, or Maybe it tastes less that way. But it still tastes... All right, you get what I'm saying. All right, here we are in the beautiful... I always like to talk about the Magni Gyro. There I am standing outside it. Walk around a little bit. There's the beautiful Magni Gyro in pearl beige, which is still a really cool color. So you can see all the detailing. You can see the rotor. You can see the engine, the Rotax engine, the 216 in the back, and the 916. You can see Magni Orion. You can see the air intake. You can see the radiators. There's an oil radiator, and a water radiator. There's two radiators. It's just detail. And you can see the mechanism that goes up to the rotor. Hello, how you doing? That is used for the pre-rotation feature, which we'll get into a little bit. But let's get inside and start her up, and we're gonna fly around southwest to find the statue. But let's start getting this fired up. All right, master battery on. Open your fuel valves and your fuel pumps for both sides. It's got redundant fuel systems. Let's see, rotor brake is on. We can power to the start switch and then hit your starter. And it starts right up, real easy. Again, the rotor is typically not powered, although there is a pre-rotation feature that lets you spin up the rotor for takeoff purposes, which is just kind of a cool thing. Okay, where does it want us to go? We could probably just ask for takeoff clearance. We're going to be heading south, west. Let's just say west for now.
Romeo Juliet Alpha, India traffic. KNSH 9er taking off runway 27.
All right, we want to turn this on. That's all is good. Everything's warmed up. Parking brake off. Put a little power here. We got a parking brake, which is to the wheels, and a rotor brake. I think basically we don't need a lot of runway. That's plenty of runway right here. So we're just going to come right here to the runway. And then we'll get our rotor sped up a little bit. Okay, parking brake on. And now it's your takeoff here. Should be cleared. All right, so basically there's a squeeze lever on that handle. They call it the pre-rotator. First what we're going to do is we're going to turn off our rotor brake. Our parking brake is still on. Get a little power going to the engine. And then what we do when we squeeze that rotor, it starts spinning up the... when we squeeze that handle, it starts spinning up the rotor. So the rotor is pre-spinning. We want it to get up to about 200. So we're watching our RPM meter there. 125, 137. It'll start slowing up a little bit. But we want to get it to a solid, I guess over like 200. There we go. It's over 200. And now we can release our parking brake, give full power to the forward engine, and kind of remove the rotator feature. And as we move forward, it basically just gently lifts off the ground. Sort of like a helicopter, but not really like a helicopter. It's its own thing, that's for sure. All right, we wanted to head south. Let's make this turn right here. So the city, I think, is over that way. There's kind of a city over there. But we're going to check out the environment here. The Magni Gyro in-game is a fantastic sightseeing plane. It's smooth. It's easy to run. It's got nice big windows, and it has no problem staying at a nice low level. So what's happening is the rotor isn't powered, but it's just pulling air going through it is causing it to spin. You can also see how it's very flexible. So it because it's holding up the weight of the plane, it actually dishes upwards. When it's sitting on the ground, it kind of sags downwards. Okay, so there's the little airport we took off from. And there, what we're heading for is this statue. And the statue should be marked out, but I think it's going to be a ways down that way. We thought it was, or this way, right? Oh, no, it's there. It's right there. It says Ushiki Debatsu. So 3 miles away. So it's hard to tell what it is right now from here, but that's a big statue. We're checking it out. We don't need this up anymore. But this is another part of Japan. I mean, we've definitely done the Tokyo, Osaka run a lot. We've done Tokyo to Kobe, Tokyo to Kyoto. We've done Nagasaki, Hiroshima, and then we just did the northern Sapporo. maybe for the first time. But there's a lot of regions of Japan I have not been to. And I've been waiting because we've been waiting for this world update. It tends to improve and make things more accurate and realistic. I'm still looking forward to spending more time in Germany. They just did the Germany city update. We have not spent as much time in Germany as I really want to. But there's a new Japan update, and I do like to at least visit all these new 3D models that they put in the game. It can be a little hard to figure out where they are and which ones they've added. In 2020, they have on the map. It shows you all the points of interest and an exclamation point if it's a new one, if you haven't seen it. But for some reason, that feature doesn't move through to 2024, I don't think. But this is a lovely little, lovely ride. That's what it looks like out this direction. So the Magni Gyro, it's a great, it's based on a real craft, and there are lots of different gyrocopters in the world. And they are pretty popular. They have some advantages over other kinds of planes, for sure. They're very efficient. They're very simple. There's only one power. The engine just basically powers the propeller on the back, and that's it. Except for the pre-rotator feature, but we don't really care about that as much. And then they're very maneuverable, and you can land and take off in a very short distance. Not as you cannot hover like a helicopter can, because the rotor is not for that. But you can land a lot shorter than a propeller plane. It looks like there is a city way off there in the distance that way, but I don't know what city it is. Kind of there. Maybe we'll head out there. It's definitely a hall. And there's something going on up here I might want to check out. So there's that city. We took off from kind of back that way, right? There's that airport. And this is the statue not of Liberty, though, but it's still a darn big statue, that's for sure. And it's called the Ushiku Daibatsu. Or Daibatsu? Something like that. And obviously, boy, big statues like this really are a major tourist draw, I can imagine. Very detailed. So I'm not sure whether these are technically statues of Buddha or some other religious figure. All right, let's just pause right here. Jump out of a match. I want to observe the statue. Where is it? And the associated grounds from a low level. So there's a base. It almost looks like artichoke leaves or something. Looks like you can go inside here. There's definitely something on the inside there. I wonder if it's like a theater. Yeah, beautiful. It's a very, very detailed. And it looks like you can go inside. Maybe there's windows there, and you can kind of see out the chest there. Is that possible? I don't know. The hair is pretty wild. That is some wild, wild stuff. Okay, where are we? We're not that high up. We're over here, I think. Right? Oh, we're way up there. Okay. Everyone use your magical precision. You got a lot of parking here. You know what I mean? This is parking for over there, I think. This is parking lots there. I think. That's my theory. All right, everyone back in the plane. And we're going to fly around a bit. It's cool. I mean, you sure get a sense of scale when you do this flying thing. As opposed to just kind of like looking at pictures. But as I say here, it looks like, I don't know what that is. You went inside the big door in Kamakura. There was nothing there. It's not in the sim. Oh, you went inside the big. You went inside in the sim. Yeah. There's definitely, that's pretty common that there's no interiors, even for a building that has a hollow area. But it looks to me like there's there's a lot of tourist attraction style stuff here. People come from all over. There's plenty of parking. You could take a shuttle bus. I don't know. But you went inside IRL, yeah. Because you say you spent some time in Japan. It is a beautiful morning. I changed it. Right now it's like 4 in the morning there, but I changed it to like 7:30 in the morning. So it wouldn't be super crowded. Because it looks like there is a ton of parking. And I wonder if there's like also like, amusement park style rides or something. Since I don't know if you're just going to come here and go, oh, look at the statue and then leave. But maybe it's, again, there's a theater in there. There's a whole educational thing or something. All right, which way we're going to head? Kamakura? Maybe we should check it out, at the very least. All right, well, maybe we should just, we're going to fly to this other airport here, do a landing, and then I'm going to check out this other statue. It also looks interesting, and because it is, I was able to search for it and find it in the location bar. We won't have any problem finding it, and it will just take a few minutes. We'll stick with the Orion, but it's not, it's like 600 miles. It's way too far to fly. In this craft. This craft is good for sightseeing, but it's not good for traveling long distances. It's not pressurized. It doesn't go that fast. About the fastest you want to go is about 75 knots. That's not even fast for a helicopter. So I mean, that's the downside, is it's not fast. But again, it's inexpensive to run because of the very simple mechanical nature of it. The propellers aren't powered normally, at least. So it's not like a helicopter. The downside I found, and I watched a lot of YouTube videos that show people flying the gyrocopter, is the gyrocopter, you can't see it in the control stick here, but a real gyrocopter, the control stick vibrates to the right and left at the same rate that the rotors are spinning. In other words, the rotors they're hooked up using these rods on the back, right? You can see these rods attached to the back, and as the rotor spins, those rods move a little bit because the rotor is not perfectly balanced as it perfectly spins as it spins through, because as it goes to the left, it's spinning in the reverse direction of the wind. And then when it's on the other side, it's going into the wind, so one side gets more lift than the other side. So as it goes through that loop, it goes like this. And that motion is translated into those rods moving up and down. And that's translated into this stick moving to the side, left and right, vibrating all the time. And you can't do anything about it. It's inherent in the design of a gyrocopter. It's not the end of the world if you know what it is, but it's very tiring to hold onto the stick that's vibrating. And you can see them. You can see them kind of working because you're not only holding on a stick, but you're mechanically moving. Mechanically moving the rotor position using those rods, and so you have to be, to steer the plane or to keep it going where you want to go. You're moving that stick around, and it's vibrating. So I don't think it's in the real world. I don't think gyrocopters are particularly comfortable to fly for any length of period of time. And just for that one reason, just because of the stick vibration. And I watched a bunch of videos. I was like, man, I would love to have a gyrocopter. I bet they're so much fun to fly. And I watched them, and they're kind of fun to fly, but they're also kind of stressful. I mean, you could die if you screw up, kind of things. Unlike us, we could just, we're not going to die. But then there's the stick shake issue, which is absolutely inherent in the gyrocopter design. There's not a single one that doesn't do it. They try to minimize it. There's kind of a city over there. Well, I want to find this other statue. Okay, that statue is cool. We can see it in the distance fading away. It's a ways now. Yeah, I can't really see it. It's quite a ways, even though it's a big statue. We got a lot of room out here. We're going to approach this little airport ahead. Well, actually, there's two little airports. There's a Tone and this one here. We'll land right here. This one here. A little close one here. This is Ryugasaki Airport. Ryugasaki. Okay. This is definitely farmland, pretty desolate in a sense. I mean, but yeah, again, we're kind of in the back area of Japan. We're not that close to anything major. We're not that close to Tokyo. We're not that close to the capital. We're not that close to the interesting northern cities. It is what it is. I've never been to this airport. I want to just kind of check out. Okay, there's the airport. There's the runway. Let's land towards the building. So we'll come down here. We're gonna make a turn, and we're gonna check out this little general aviation airport here. Now, landing a gyrocopter, there's certainly a feel to it. And the issue is that as you slow down, you're storing energy as you go down. You're storing energy in the rotors. They start going faster and faster as you descend. But then they're not powered, so as you flare out, the rotors will lose energy. And if you flare out too high, you can lose so much energy in the rotors that you kind of have a hard land. You kind of land pretty hard. And the only way to compensate that is to give more power and move forward. You can't really give power directly to the rotors. You kind of can using the pre-rotator feature. Okay, we're in here. We're going to make a hard right turn here. to make a line up here, reducing engine power a little bit. All right, so for this turn, we're both turning using the rotors and the rudder to make it real fast. Again, they're quite maneuverable. And that's definitely not an issue. Beautiful, really easy to make a line up here. Okay, so this is now just an issue of watching. Of course, so airspeed is always important, but in this one, not only is airspeed important, but rotor speed, which is like, I'm reading that 331 number, 333. It's going to go up because as we lose altitude, we're going to lose a lot of. We're going to effectively translate that into rotor speed. So I expect it to hit about 400, but then it will start slowing down as quite dramatically as we flare out here. Basically, the engine's on idle now. It's okay, 235. And a nice little soft landing right there at the end of the runway. Okay, rotor brake on. A little more power in the engine. I let it so short. I mean, we used so little of the runway. Look how much we used. We used about 150 feet of the runway. All right, don't worry about that. Rotor brake. Rotor brake. We don't want to take off. We went too fast. That's all right. I just want to get there. I just want to check out these little buildings at the end of the runway here. There's a lot of parking area here. And what they tell you is you really want to, if you don't want to turn sharply while the rotors are moving, because it can tip you. It can cause you to tip over. I mean, because you are kind of top heavy. What with that rotor assembly on the top of the plane, it's kind of heavy. When they're spinning, they're producing lift, so they're not likely to make you tip over. Or, well, at a high speed. But when they're slow, they're not. They're kind of, anyway, the point is. All right, so this is some buildings here. Pretty simple. You can't really see much from here. All right, we're going to check out, I'll see if we can find this second statue. Because basically, you know, we have enough that we want to look for at least 2 of these new points of interest. That statue was cool. So far, we're going to do a second flight. We checked out, if you go back and look at the videos, we have we checked out this really cool giant statue in Japan. What's it called again? Ushiku Daibatsu. The second statue we're looking for is called the Sendai Daikanon. Oops. Final bowl. All right. Sendai Daikanon. All right, let's see if we can find this here. So end flight. We're still looking through Japan. They did the update. So it's called Sendai. Is Sendai Daikanon. It's a long way. Okay, so we were kind of here. Remember, this is pretty much okay. Well, I guess this is not too far from the that nuclear power plant, right? Is that right around here? I think so. Okay, so we've got to find a nice runway in the area. This is the statue we're looking for. Come on, there's got to be a runway. Hello. Right. Do this. Okay, yeah. Now it'll show the runways. So this is the city of Sendai, which is a pretty major northern city. It's on the main island though. It's not like. Okay, so they got a big airport over there. You know, this airport might be fun to take off from. And then we'll head this way and then go through the city, and then we're going to check out this statue. So we're going to take off from here. Matsushima Aero. Have we been here before? No, I don't think so. Okay. Set as departure. We're going to move it. Again, it's 4 in the morning there, but we're going to change it to be about 7:45 in the morning. So we get a nice day. It looks like a lovely morning there. And yeah, let's just fly around there. A second. It's a cool looking statue. I mean, it is what it is. They've updated these some of these pretty areas in Japan, and I want to see them. So we're flying the gyro. It's definitely going to be one of my basic standard flyers for any kind of sightseeing. All right, so we're ready to go. We're going to pre-rotate, rotor brake off, parking brake on, little power to the engine, but not full power. And then we use our squeeze. Now I'm basically using a control I use to squeeze the handle. That causes engine power to be diverted through the gear, through a cable system to the rotor, so we can pre-rotate the rotor. Now I'm watching the speed, 141, 156, 164. It's coming up. We want it to be over like 220. Okay, 224. So now we can release the parking brake, full power, release the release the grip, so it's going to slow down a little bit. Basically, we just take right off like nothing because we pre-rotated. Use very little of the runway, very little. All right, so we wanted to head west, and then when we get the city, we're going to turn into the city. We should see this cool statue. It's basically one of these giant like 80-foot statues or 100-foot statues or whatever. I believe they are generally religious, Buddhist something, but I don't know. I assume. So yeah, it's a cool little airport. I don't know if they've updated it. It's a pretty decent sized one actually. Matsushima Aerodrome. But let's just check out some of the cool buildings. We want to keep it on a boil. It's going to be about a 5-10 minute ride there, but it's sightseeing. We're going to stay nice and low. So there's that, in between where we're going to go. I think where we're heading is like at one of those points of interest in the distance there. It's not that far. It's a little farther than that first one was, but I want to head towards the city, which is the city of Sendai, Sendai. Actually, I wonder if Sendai has like nice beaches. It's probably too far north to be a year-round kind of place, but maybe in the summer it's like really got good weather, especially compared to other parts of Japan, which can be too hot in the summer. But Japan also has, the island that Sapporo is on, and it's cold. It's certainly cold during the winter. We'll definitely want to head back to the northern island of where Sapporo is during the actual winter time, which is soon, because it's autumn now. And that's basically looking out into the Pacific Ocean. Long way, but eventually you're going to hit Hawaii, America. Is that direction? I don't know. Some direction. So yeah, it looks like there's a beach. We're still in the outskirts. Sendai is fairly big. What's our speed? About 70 knots. That's fine. I'm in no huge hurry. It might be back that way. I don't think so. I think it's this way. Let me just check the terrain here. Right, so the place we're going is in here. Right there, kind of the center area here. And how far is it? It's about 10 miles. It's about a 10-minute ride from here. Hope everyone has a lovely Monday today. But yeah, basically just going to go in, follow this little coastal route here. There's like a lagoon coming up. It's kind of cool. Lots of stuff coming up. What is over here? See, like the high density area of buildings. Or something over here. Might just be a neighborhood? I don't know. But yeah, what is this? I wonder what this little bay is called. I mean, it's pretty big. What does that say over there? Miyato Island. If I check that out. Yeah, it's just kind of it's a village, I would call that. You know what I mean? Village. So yeah, just me flying around in my wonderful gyrocopter. This little area here looks like it could be nice. I want to make sure I'm not heading up too high altitude so we can see the details. But again, yeah, if we look at this map, you can kind of see. I guess it's not a lagoon. It's not like sealed, but it's definitely a bay. And then there's all these islands. Yeah, we're gonna be flying over, and then we're gonna hit Sendai after that. It's a ways. But yeah, I'm taking a little break from work. We had we had like a regular Monday meeting, so we all kind of in our group know what we're doing for the week, kind of thing. Tomorrow I'm going to be going into work and got some things to do there, you know, and stuff to talk about. This is kind of interesting building down here. This area here, I wonder if that is military, like a naval or something. I don't know. You'd think there'd be a naval base around here. So I was checking around these islands. I'm trying to figure out, are these islands occupied, or are they basically just hanging out here in the bay? But I thought maybe, yeah, I see some buildings on some of these islands. So they definitely are accessible, but probably only by boat. I don't see a lot of bridges. But they're kind of cool looking little islands. You see there's definitely some kind of activity here. And I'm wondering whether, like, there's pools there. If these are resorts, it just doesn't really show them very well. They're like vacation spots or something. Van Buren County. No stoplights in the entire county. Jeez. Wow. That is definitely pretty low population. But, you know, traffic circles are pretty good. But it's one thing to live like where there's no thing, but another thing to live in an area that is not accessible by car. You can take a boat there, or you can take a plane there. Or you can swim there. But you cannot walk there, and you cannot drive there. And I think some of these places are like that. That to me is the essence of remote. Well, I don't know. I mean, I can't say for sure there's no roads, but I don't see any connecting either side. But maybe there is like some of these maybe do connect over here. But I don't think so. But they're definitely, you know, people have been hanging around on them for a long time, I'm sure. For whatever reason. This one has definitely got like a fishing village or something. But again, I don't think any of these little islands are connected to Sendai by a bridge. I could be wrong. There might be ferry. You might be able to like put your car out of ferry and then drive off these little islands. It happens a lot on the East Coast of America. This one definitely, I think that is a ferry dock right there. Maybe or maybe not. So this is real pretty. I like this. It's got that cliffside there. Got some kind of tower action here. A couple of towers, cell phone towers or something. And we're almost at, again, if there was going to be a bridge, it would be over here. I don't see any. But it's definitely populated. I mean, like year-round. It's not like just every now and then. But yeah, these little islands are really pretty. And very interesting. I want to see, what is this over here? Is that a smokestack? That looks like it probably is, but I want to check it out. All right, we're almost at Sendai, and our final destination is the statue. It's out this direction. We'll be there in about, I don't know, because we're going on a circuitous route, another 10 minutes or so. But that'll be good, because we're 40 minutes in, and once we're about 50 minutes in, that'll be the end of the flight simulator segment. I'm going to be playing some big brain games, so I got some Diet Coke to pour into the ice here. And then after the big brain games, there'll be a short break, and I'm going to ram my piano in here and play piano for about 45 minutes. And that's going to be a Monday stream. Yay. Yeah, so okay, so we're on the outskirts of Sendai. I think this is probably power generation. It looks like they have solar and petroleum-based power generation facilities here. Kind of interesting. That's pretty common. I don't know what Sendai is famous for, except for being town. But, I mean, like, do they make electronics there? I don't know. They probably do. Anyway, the statue's out that direction. I'm pretty sure it's one of those little places out there, spots there. We'll be able to see it. Again, it's about 6 miles from here, which is, you know, it's a ways, because we're only going about 70 miles an hour. Well, I guess we're at 70 knots is about 80 miles an hour, right? Trying to avoid the power lines. Power lines down there. That's fine. But I enjoy flying low enough that we can really get a feel for the undulations of the terrain. Definitely some hills here. And as we get closer, it's definitely getting a lot more densely populated. I think we're kind of heading out that direction. Alright, I'm going to look at my map again, see if I can get a feeling from where we are. Right. We're basically heading where I think we want to go. We might as well make a direct route of it at this point. I think it's one of those little points of interest dead ahead. We'll find out. And then we'll have seen the cool new statue. Of the two that we know of that have been updated. We saw the one earlier. But I always like taking my time because the statue itself takes 2 minutes to find, to look at. It's good that we have a 15-minute flight so we can see things. And that'd be more realistic if you're gonna rent a touristy thing. So I guess Sendai, the kind of the populated part of Sendai is fairly inland. Not sure why that is. It extends to the water. You see the bigger buildings are kind of located further from the ocean. But it looks real pretty. As usual, these cities, there's a lot of water, kind of artificial canals that are obviously built by people to use as commercial transportation in the area, for hundreds of years. So things, goods move up the ocean to the center of the city by a barge or whatever. And that's the way they've been doing it for hundreds of years. It's a very efficient way, and they still do, because it's just a very efficient way of moving things around in a city. And the Japanese cities really take advantage of that, like European cities. American cities, they don't care, but Japanese cities and European cities always have water transportation systems. Or Asian cities and European cities, or older cities. There's some others too. I think. But this canal goes in about to here. It looks like maybe further. We are approaching something of a city. I wonder if there'll be a nice stadium we can look at. It's always fun. But already it's a beautiful flight. Again, flying over Japan, like flying over most parts of the world, it feels like Japan. It doesn't feel like Germany, like America, and it doesn't feel like Europe. It has a very distinctly Asian feel and Japanese feel to the kind of the way the buildings are laid out, streets. It's not super realistically detailed, I would say, but it's still pretty cool. And as we get closer to the city, we should see a lot more unique buildings. It says Sendai ahead. And I think the statues may be that out there. It might be a little further that direction. That one out there. We'll see. But we'll hit Sendai first. Yeah, they were one of the most, they were considered the most civilized Asian country for a long time. Because compared to China, because China was 7 warring kingdoms for thousands of years. And at that time, kind of Japan was kind of a little more, there's a time when Mongolia was considered more civilized than China too. There's kind of a rich history in Asia. I'll put it that way. But yeah, they definitely went through their very warlike periods where there's a lot of infighting between various kingdoms on the island of Japan. The longest continuously operating hotel. I believe, I did read that. It's like 900 years old. It's been kind of they think it's in the same family or something for 900 or something ridiculous like that. And yeah, that's the other thing is that Japan has a tradition of, well, how I can put this, people traveling from one part of the country to the other as kind of a religious or spiritual, and they would, for hundreds of years, as a religious or spiritual, whatever, experience. And so for a long time they had travelers would be coming through areas and need a place to stay. So Japan kind of invented the idea of hostels at travelers hotels. Um, Not really invented it, but they're real popular there. Yeah, I think the statue's up there, but we're gonna fly over Sendai, and then we're gonna head. I guess it's west, because there's definitely gonna be some interesting buildings. They did mention that Sendai has been updated for the world update. In addition to the statue, which we're going for, the statue's off to the right there a little bit. It's only a couple miles out though. That won't take too long. I would think, the other thing is, they have probably some of the oldest continuously operating, like, sake, Japanese rice wine making companies, since they've been doing that for a long time too. And imagine they're continuously operating. The interesting thing most people don't know about the history of the Nintendo Corporation is Nintendo's been around a long time, but they were around. They made playing cards. For all they really did was make playing cards for the first 50 years of their existence or something. And then they got into video games. That was like after they'd been around for 50 years. But so my point being, Japanese companies can be very old. Compared to American companies where they make new ones, it's more common for a Japanese company to be very old and just go into something new. Like Nintendo went from making playing cards to video games. It became very well known in video games. They don't make playing cards anymore. But that's all they did for the first 50 years, as opposed to a new company. All right, so we've got like a commuter rail coming into Sendai here. And then coming into, it looks like we got a couple. This is probably like there's an outer train station here, and then probably an inner train station that's a little closer to the downtown area. But that's the other thing, very unique about a Japanese city compared to many American cities is there's a lot of commuter rail. There's a lot of commuter and commercial rail activity. That's not, of course, there's a lot of the cities was 1889. Thank you for looking that up. Yeah, I thought it was 1920s or something, but it's 130 years, 135 years or something old. It's crazy. 136 years old. And again, for the first 60 or 50, I guess it's 50 or 60 years, they were a playing card company. And a pretty well-known one, like a pretty famous one, a pretty successful one or something, I don't know. So you can go like to the Nintendo, store, the Nintendo kind of home store. This is Sendai, Sendai, Japan group. And you can see the playing cards, some of the playing cards they produced before they made the Nintendo Entertainment System, then the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, and then the Nintendo 64 Entertainment System, and then blah blah blah, etc. So this is Sendai. It is pretty big. It's not humongous, but I mean, certainly compared to a lot of American towns or other cities we've been in, it's not tiny either. So yeah, big city. Okay, so we got Sendai. It says there's a Sendai there. There's two things that both say Sendai. That's fine, whatever. This is a building here, which I'm wondering whether it's like a government building or an old pagoda. No, it's not a pagoda, but a shrine. I'm thinking just a government buildings down here. Looks pretty though. So yeah, lots of unique looking government buildings down there, right? All right, so if we're gonna head out to these, we're gonna head out to this large statue. You can already see on the from here, which is a distance, on the horizon is a looming something or other, and in fact, it is a very large statue. We're already leaving Sendai, and it's a beautiful looking city. We're gonna stay nice and low. I like that it kind of has these hills. It reminds me of we should go up some of those hills to check out some of these overlooks. Maybe we'll do that after we check out the statue. But yeah, a lot of the companies, I think a lot of the famous Japanese car companies were industrial concerns before they started manufacturing cars. Even like they made farm equipment or whatever. I don't know though for sure, but I think a lot of Japanese companies are pretty old. There's something out there. I might want to do a little more flying around even after we've seen this little statue here. Because again, I don't know when we're going to chance to come out to Sendai again. We're going to be doing a lot more flying around Japan, but we haven't done the Tokyo. The greater Tokyo area has been redone. I've flown around Tokyo a lot, but that doesn't mean we're not going to do it again. I have a Tokyo landmarks package, scenery package installed. And I'm kind of concerned maybe it will interfere with the new Tokyo City update. Anyway, this is called the Sendai Daikonen. Daikonen? I don't know. Sendai Daikonen, which means probably the Sendai Guardian or something like that. It's probably the the Guardian of Sendai or the Overlooker of Sendai. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Sendai is the name of the place, so I don't know what necessarily what it means. That is this, but it's a very old city. I don't know how old this Sendai Daikonen is, though. Maybe we'll do a little. I'll do a little look up here. I'll try to get some info on here. We didn't do this on the last statue, so I might have to do this on this one. Beautiful day, beautiful morning out here in Sendai. There's some towers over there. This other statue we went to had a huge amount of parking. Looks like there's quite a bit of parking. Because they're obviously giant tourist traps. All right, we're going to come in here. And stop approximately Gier. Stop time. All right, everyone jump, get your magical parachutes, please, at this point in time. So it's carrying like something that represents the world or something in his hand. It's pouring out something there. Obviously, the other one had a big, oh, look at that. So this one has a, I was saying it's a theater in the base, and this one does too, with a very dramatic, you walk into a dragon's mouth to get into the theater that's in the base. And this is, I like this, all these little detail items here. That's a bell. That's one of those Japanese bells. I forgot what they call those bells, but they had one in the Huntington Gardens in California, and we used to, that was pretty cool. So there's a beautiful Japanese bell. They use that to call people, to call people to whatever, maybe services. And then there's a very colorful facade here. It's really cool. I like that there. And these are probably, I don't know, ticket gates or something. You have to buy tickets to get in, I assume. And somebody has parked their motorcycle here. Alrighty. But I like this opening here. I'm glad we checked this out. And then just the detailing here. See the back. That other statue looked like it was metal. This one, I wonder also if you can go inside, like those are windows. This one looks like it's made out of maybe concrete. Maybe it's sprayed concrete or something like that. I'm not sure what technique was made. Alright, everyone back in the plane. Start time again. I want to go up, there's this ridge here. Okay, there's the statue as it recedes. Wait, I don't know how big it is either. Alright, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Okay, we're going to go here real quick. I'm going to go to, it's just, come a second. Okay, so it's the Sendai Daikonen. It's a white-robed colossus, huge statue of the goddess Cannon with several floors of Buddha figurines and views across the city. So it's the Sendai Daikonen means the white-robed colossus, does not mean the guardian of Sendai. I was making that up, but I was wrong. Admission gives you entry $3.37. It's really only that much. It can't be. Opens at 10 a.m. It's an amazing place. Staff are super friendly. It's only $500. $5. 500 yen. Blah blah blah. Sacred place. It's a sacred place, so people visit the sacred site in order to have their wishes fulfilled, according to the Googles. Like you can go there. You can pray. You can make an offering. It costs 500 yen, and maybe your wish will be fulfilled. So it's got to be worth it. Okay, so the city's over there. All right, these hills here remind me almost of like the hills above Los Angeles, like the Hollywood Hills and Bel Air. But in that you have these vistas of the city that you can see. So you'd think there's going to be some expensive real estate up here. But I want to check it. There's this whole kind of little heights area here. See, if you're on this side of the heights, you're not going to be able to see the city. But if you're on that side here, you might have some very nice city views. But all right, I think there's like a tower or something over here. On this part of the road. Was there something over here? I don't know. But like I say, before we leave Sendai, I want to check this out. We might end up landing over at that runway over there. I can land anywhere. We can land on a road, any flat patch of grass. In fact, we're kind of running late, so I may not do an actual landing. I mean, we can land anywhere. This is a really nice little river, kind of how I like how it meanders. So there must be like a canyon up there. Looks like a little mini volcano over there, which actually might be. But we're heading towards this spot. Okay, yeah. There's a whole bunch of buildings here, and I'm wondering whether this is like a university or something, or something. I don't know. Because this definitely overlooks Sendai. All right, so I've got my map of Sendai here. Sendai City Waterworks Memorial Museum. Is that what we're traveling over? I don't know. Hard to tell. Alright, so what's... Oh, yeah, this tower over here. Oh, no, it's up here. There's definitely a lot of shrines in this area. They like to put shrines, you know, where there's a nicer view, so they tend to be uphill a little bit. This is just a huge set of buildings here, though. It looks to me like some kind of, maybe university or something. Okay. Hold on, I want to see. That Sendai there, we're pretty close to the city. I've got my map up here. There's Sendai. There's these hills. What are these giant buildings, though? Yeah, I don't know exactly where I am, unfortunately. Alright, let's keep going. I'll have to figure it out someday. That, okay, and then there's this is what I want to say. It's just basically a tower. A radio tower or something. Oh, that is an amusement park right there. You can see a roller coaster right there. You can easily see the roller coaster. So that would let us know where we're flying over. You think? But I don't know. There's definitely an amusement park around here somewhere. Alright, we're just gonna land. It's gonna be fun. Beautiful little area, honestly. As I was saying, they like to put those shrines and pagodas at high up so you can get a nice little view while you're praying. This is definitely another airport I've never landed at. I'm kind of fast here. We already kind of checked out the city of Sendai. That's where we were flying. And then off in the distance in that direction there is that statue we were looking at. And we're going to get ready for a landing here. Which way is the runway here? Okay, good. It's kind of that way. So we're going to come in here. Yeah, plenty of runway. Alright, so once again, I like to my spiel about how do you land. It's all about managing your speed and taking into account the speed of the rotor, which is on that LCD display there, in terms of RPM. Because the rotor isn't really powered. Now, there are things you can do to adjust the speed of the rotor. There's the rotor brake and the pre-rotor feature to slow it down, and the pre-rotation handle, which could speed it up under certain circumstances. But in most cases, you don't need to do either one of those things, if you know what you're doing, at least. Really cool looking city. Alright, that's where we're landing right there. So let's see. Keep your eye on the runway here. This airport is located right next to a pretty densely populated area, but it's probably not like it doesn't run a lot of loud jets or anything like that. All right, so as we descend, reducing power, I'm definitely gonna expect to see the rotor start speeding up, which is fine, and that means it's producing more lift, which means it's a little harder to descend. So you kind of have to take that all into account as you come in for a landing. Looks like we got a little bit of right to left wind here. I want to come in to the right of the runway. We shouldn't have too much wind, really. Looks like the windsock is pretty Pretty dead. Alright, reduce power even further. 370 RPM. Reduce power even further. I want to basically land on a dot at some point, but I'm still kind of learning. Just to kind of get the basics down here. Reducing power to basically idle at this point. 362. We're going to flare out. You can hear the rotor start to slow down. And now we're going to kind of flare out there. Just going to land real gentle. That was a nice gentle landing. Why do we have animals on the runway? Looks like we have some cow on the runway here. Let's chase them around. I think we chase them around. We're chasing the cows around. Alright, turn on rotor brake so we don't scare them too much. It happens on some airports. They have livestock running around the area. It's not that common though. I kind of think it's funny. We don't want the rotor brake on. But you can see them out there. You can we're kind of chasing them around. Hopefully they won't run too far. They definitely will run away from loud sounds. But we're pretty fast. Don't want to go too fast. What is down there? They're definitely down here. Alright, rotor brake. When you go too fast, the rotor brake will automatically turn on. So avoid braking himself. Hold on a second here. At least they ran off into those woods. That's fine. That's the runway over here. Have a good day. I will have a good day tomorrow. The next stream is Wednesday if you want to come back. Yeah, play some Rocksmith and do some flying. I had a really nice time flying around Japan. Beautiful day. Saw a couple statues. Let's get out of this little area here. Hold on. Power. 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 Gotta get over the dandelions here. Onto the flat. There we go. There we are. That was a fun little flight. All right, but that is what it is. Oh, actually, the last thing I'm going to do is turn off the engines, just because it's fun. Turn off the engines. You know, one thing I want to do is, I haven't done this yet, is the engine, the Rotax 916 has two fuel systems, but I wonder whether it realistically models the fact that if you were to turn off one of your fuel systems in flight, you lose some power, but you still have most of it. I have not tried that yet. Something I've yet to try, considering the number of times I've flown this plane. And basically what I'm saying is there's 4 sets of switches. There's the left pump and left valve, and the right pump and the right valve. It's two fuel systems. And for the basic idea that if one of your fuel systems fails, it's not the engine's going to keep running, but not necessarily at full speed. It's my theory, but I don't know for sure. But we should be able to test it sometime by just turning off the fuel pump to one side. And I've been thinking about that and still haven't come around to doing that. All right, but we're going to move forward with the rest of the stream, which, as I mentioned, is a very regimented set of items that have to occur for a stream to continue. The next item that has to occur is the Big Brain Games. Hello. Big Brain Games. Get out of Microsoft Flight Simulator. That'll just take about 10 minutes or so. Moving into the just chatting category for the Big Brain Games. Let's get to here. Sorry. Loaded up something here. Quirtle. All right. So the first game is the Quirtle. We're moving through these quickly. Then there'll be the revealed. You'll see. Whatever. It's the same set of things. Same starting words. That's just something I like to do every day to make sure my brain's still working from the night before. Okay, that could be Sting or Stink on the upper left. That's always a good one. And this could be Packers game. Yeah, and that's one I didn't see. I watched the San Francisco game, but I watched the thing. This could be Tuber, Tuber. Let's try that in the lower left. All right, at least we got one, and then we got. Let's see. There's a P and an O. but it doesn't start with it. So R-O... R-O... Could be droop. D-R-O-O-P. Oops. Sorry, excuse me. All right, that helped. Okay, now upper right. Now we know that there's an R-O and we have an I and end place. That could be groin. G-R-O-I-N. All right, that's helpful. And now we know it's not sting because G's not in it, but it could still be stink. Right? Okay, is that helpful? That was an easy one. That's a warm-up game. Second game is called The Revealed. This one could be hard. It's not timed, so let's just get into it. All right, it's a person. The person's first name has 6 letters. That person's last name has about 75,000 letters. We'll figure it out. Long one. But we can, in order to determine who this person is, we need to read this heavily redacted document and hopefully figure out which of the clues that we can reveal that will tell us who it is without having to reveal too many extra clues. All right, so let me read this. All right, the person we're looking for, born December 28th, blank, 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 is an blank, blank, celebrated for his, a male person, engaging and powerful blank. Through his career, he has been regularly, maybe still alive then, regularly blank by blank, and his consistent blank at the blank helped to dispel the blank perception that blank blank could not draw blank blank audiences. Blank won blank for his work in blank. That could be important. And blank blank. In blank blank, he played blank and blank police blank, who is assigned to a young blank blank to teach. Okay, so it's a male actor of some kind. When something for his work in something. I want to say these are the name going to be a movie. Training Day. Yeah, okay. So it's going to be what's his name? Denzel Washington, which has 80,000 letters in it, as I mentioned. All right, that wasn't too bad. African American actors in mainstream what is the category? And working Glory. I probably would have figured out from Glory. Training Day is one of his biggest movies. In Training Day, Washington played a corrupt and violent police detective. That's a good movie. All his movies are good movies. How do we do compared to other people? We needed one reveal and 0 hints. There's Denzel. Other players needed 4.8 reveals and 1.7 hints, but most ultimately solved it. We did better than them, but that's just because we're good. All right, the next game is the Tightrope Trivia Game. It's a 9-question, timed, multiple choice trivia game. It gets easier starting Monday and then hardest on the Sunday. Today's Monday, the easiest. But that doesn't mean it's easy because the nature of trivia, it can vary. It can be either something you've never heard of or something super simple. But let's dive into it. Remember, once you hit that play button, the timer starts, and the speed in which you answer is a huge component of your score. The Forrest Gump. Okay, what cat breed is called the Canadian Hairless? Sphinx? Because the Maine Coon's got a lot of hair. Chrissy's dad told her to be more blank if she wanted to afford Taylor Swift tickets. Frugal? Vocabularies are never hard. You're usually not hard. All right, what's the category here? Words. Second is a hospital in Botswana. Good for her, Elizabeth Taylor. Yeah, she married Bridget Burton twice. Shogun was adopted by the ruler of Japan. We were just there. Barbarian quelling generalissimo. Oh, that's what Shogun means? I don't know about that. From being boiled, a bagel. I don't know if people understood how that bagels are boiled or part anyway. Jaundice? Manila. That's Philippines. These are all definitely easier than the Sunday and Saturday questions. That's for sure. Norman Rockwell. These are all super easy compared to the Sunday and Saturday questions. Oh my god. So what's our score today? We got a good one. We got them all right, and I did them pretty fast. For one thing, I don't want to sit here all day. I got to get back to work later. Okay, but we got all 9 right. We got a decent score. Walking Encyclopedia. Do we get Clever Funambulist? We do. We haven't gotten Clever Funambulist, which is the highest ranking in a while. You need 2,200 points for that. But you see, we got most of it because of the time bonus, 1120 points. No, you know, the difficulty bonus on Sunday is 320. It's not that much different, but anyway, it's just an important thing. All right, we got 2 more big brain games to go: the Octurtle Classic and then the Octurtle Rescue, because that's the hardest one. The Classic is basically just a warm up. Well, we solve 8 5-letter words at the same time using blah blah blah. All right, we have Unite on the upper right. We got, let's see, oh, this is going to be grimy, right? There's nothing else it could be. Oops, grimy. Lower left there. Let's see, we got on the lower right, all spelled out for us is cramp, C-R-A-M-P. Let's see. That one just could be leery, L-E-E-R-Y, right? I think it's going to be leery. Okay, we're moving forward. We got 4 down and 4 to go. This could be right. Could be a bunch of things, but I'm going to guess riper. Okay, yeah, okay. It could have been riper, but now I see it could also be viper. That's all right. We have extra guesses in this version, at least. All right, 3 words to go. This word here has to be groan, G-R-O-A-N. Nothing else it could be. We got 2 left, and now let's see. We have this is the lower left. I think it's going to be beget. Yeah, it is, and we're down to our last. There's one more game after this though, so we got a ways to go. This one is wooer. Yeah, I know. All right, so the last game is called The Rescue. It's hard because I don't get to use my 3 starting words. It chooses 4 random ones for you, and they're usually terrible and pointless. But it's random. That's the whole point. This one here, though, but then we have this lower left, for example, there's some that are obvious. Has to be a base. It's basically spelled out. And there's another one here I think I saw. Let's see. There's a C, T, and E in here. So it could be cleat. Oh, it could be cleft. Let's wait on that one. This one here, though, it's H-O-L-E, right? So it's whole, W-H-O-L-E, right? It's got to be whole. And that's good because the W was helpful in at least one place. This one here is going to be scoot, not... I don't think it's S-T-O something C. Oh, it could be scout. I think it's... Let's try scout. U-T, right? It could be scout. Good. Oh, yeah, we really needed that because we needed that U. All right, now we've got something. This has to be H-U-T-C-H, hutch. All right, that's good. So we got one there. Now we have an interesting situation. We have the W, but it's not behind that H here. So it's going to be... What is it going to be? And an R. So there's an O-T-H or O-T-W and R. So we have all of the letters. T-H... R. It's got to be, obviously, once you see it, it's obvious. It's throw. But it takes a few seconds to see it. Let's see, what else here we have? Again, this could have been cleat or cleft, right? It still could be cleft. Are the Monday ones the easiest? The Monday trivia game is easiest. These games are completely random. There's no difference. Only the trivia game has a difficulty level that changes during the week. These are just you get a daily game every day. Let's just check here. This one here could be. Oof. STER. Because the R has to be there. It could be Stern. I want to guess Stern. If it's not Stern, it's anyway. The point is, it was Stern. All right, good. Oh, we got 2 left to go. We're doing well on today's rescue. This is a hard one. Got to take my time. Again, now we know. Again, I've always known that this is either that it's CLE something T, but it could be cleat or cleft. And I don't know if I want to waste a guess on that quite yet before I've looked at this one. Because who knows? Maybe this word has an F in it, but I don't think it does. All we know it has is a T. Oh, it's valet because it's VALET. All right, the L can go there, the E can go here, the V has to go there. All right, so that's easy enough. All right, so we have 2 guesses left to guess either cleft or cleat. We're gonna guess cleft first, and it was cleft. So if it hadn't been cleft, it could have been cleat, CLEET. Actually, cleat, that's CLEAT. CLEET is not a word. Anyway, the point is we got the final brain game. The brain is operating at approximately the normal level. Not necessarily exceptionally good or bad, but it is what it is. I'm going to need a good solid 3-minute break to drag my piano in here. It's probably going to take me longer than that, so I might have to go through my mid-roll multiple times. You know how it goes. Don't worry about it. But I'm looking forward to playing some music and relaxing out in Ken's piano lounge here. Let me switch over to the music category if I can. There we go, musical category. And I'll run my mid-roll, and we'll see you on the other side. Oops, here we go.
Hello, how you doing? Welcome to Ken's Panel Lounge. Is what I normally say during this period of time. Let me get this set up here. Put it like that there. Oh, it's about right here. Maybe a little lower, actually. There we go. About there. See the keyboard. Watch my fingers move across and make sounds. Oh, it makes sounds. Not bad. All right, let me warm up a bit here, and then we'll get right into the Ken's Panel Lounge song list here that I got right here on an 8.5 11 by piece of paper. Welcome to the lounge. I said that right. songs. No, Tycho. Why not? Anyway, mellow out with Ken's Man Lounge on Monday, I guess. church time chatters. There we are. I don't know about that one. All right. What are we gonna do here? How about a little mellow Steely Dan? Can You Read My Mind from Superman the movie. Let's see what we got in here. Some more instrumentals here. All right, Elton John for a year. All right, last one. All right. That was a fun time doing my little show for you guys. Next time will probably be Monday. I mean, Wednesday. Today's Monday. Hold on a second here. Base cam only. There we go. Had a fun time doing my little stream today. We'll have to see how it goes. Next time, of course, to be flying around Microsoft Flight Simulator. Big Brain Games, and then a guitar performance of some kind, maybe some singing, karaoke. It's pretty much the typical alternating between guitar and piano performance. I had a great time playing for you guys today. Doing my little stream. We streamed about 2 hours, had a fun time, flew around in Japan a little bit. Did some Big Brain Games, aced the trivia questions. I think we did pretty well on all of them. Yeah, we got, we did really well on all the brain games today, okay? And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And we'll do more of them next time. I'm looking forward to it already. I'm already missing the flying around and the playing music for you guys, so it's pretty fun. But we'll see you next time, 11:30 a.m., whenever, maybe a little earlier next time.